Hacky sack from Wikipedia, the free encyclopedia. A football is the term for a small round bag filled with dry grain, most notably rice or sand, which is kicked into the air as part of a competitive game or as a display of dexterity. Hacky sack is the name of a brand of football popular in the 1970s, currently owned by Whammo, which has since become a generic trademark. The most common game of football consists of two or more players standing in a circle and trying to keep the sack off the ground for as long as possible. A typical freestyle football. History. Edit. Football-like activities have existed for many years. The game is similar to traditional Asian games of kicking the shuttlecock, known as jianzi or chapte. The game is also similar to some Southeast Asian games, such as sepak takraw and sipa. This game is known as jegi chagi in Korea. The Ryu-style Tai Chi Chuan practice dates back to at least the 1930s, and policemen are seen playing a shuttlecock game in the 1955 American movie To Catch a Thief. The same principle is applied in football-playing countries and activities of freestyle football and keepy-uppy. The current Western incarnation of the sport was invented in 1972 by Mike Marshall and John Stauberg of the Oregon City in Oregon, with their Hacky Sack product, the rights to which are now owned by Whammo. Although Marshall suffered a blood clot and a fatal heart attack in 1975, Stauberger continued the business. It gained national popularity in the early 1980s, and Stauberg sold the title to Whammo in 1983. The game of hacky sack remained popular through the mid-1990s among the hippie, stoner, and grunge crowds, but experienced a falling out with the turn of the century. Hacky sack was a popular game played during free periods at schools around the world in 1990s and early 2000s. Equipment. Edit. A crocheted footbag. For circle kicking, it is very common to use a crocheted footbag, which is usually filled with plastic beads. Casually, footbags are often differentiated as normal, indicating a plastic polythene, or as dirt bags or sand hacks, indicating a sand film. In the freestyle football discipline, a 32 panel bag is the generally accepted standard. The number of panels on commercially available bags can range from 2 to 120 panels. Stitchers generally use plastic poly pellets, sand, BBs, steel shot, lead shot, seed bead, or tungsten shot as filler. Most professional stitchers use a custom combination of different fillers to make the bag play better. Bags usually weigh between 40 and 65 grams, depending on the type of filler and the amount of filler used. 32 panel bags do not stall as easily as a dirt bag or sand hack, but set truer from the foot, allowing for more complex tricks. Professional foot bags are usually made out of the fabrics ultra suede, light, facile, or amaretto. While these bags can last a long time with proper care, they are quite fragile relative to their more common crocheted cousins. The footbag net discipline uses a distinct bag, characterized by a harder outer surface than other footbags. These bags are not suitable for freestyle, and vice versa. There are also several novelty products available, including glow-in-the-dark, chainmail, and even flame retardant bags that can be set on fire and played with. The 5-foot bag has been banned in South Australia. Shoes. Edit. Most advanced freestylers wear various styles and brands of tennis shoes, the most popular being Adidas Rod Lava tennis shoe. Not sponsored. Several shoe modifications are common in freestyle football. I don't think that's grammatically correct, but okay. In order to make toe stalling easier, many players use special lacing pads that pull apart the sides of the shoe near the toe area, creating a broad-rimmed platform. Modified lacing is augmented by cutting away the stitching that joins the row of eyelets to the toe. The area that is created by completing these modifications is called a toe box. Shoes can be further be modified for a freestyle football by removing layers of fabric from the inside, outside, and toe surfaces. These modifications are advantageous because they allow players to more accurately feel the bag on their foot. Games. Edit. Circle kicking. Edit. Circle kicking is the most common game played with a football, and is often what people mean when they use the term hacky sack. Players stand in a circle and keep the ball moving around the circle, with the goal of keeping the ball from touching the ground. There are a variety of terms used by different groups of players to note whether the football has been touched by every member of the circle. The game starts when one player picks up the sack and tosses it into the chest of the other player, who allows it to fall to their feet so they can kick it, and play begins. Play continues until the sack falls to the ground. Then a player picks up the sack and the game resumes. The object of the game is to keep the sack off the ground for as long as possible. If every player gets a touch to the sack before it hits the ground, it is called a hack. If every player gets 2 touches before the sack hits the ground, it's called a double hack, and so on and so forth. Circle kick is generally accompanied by an unwritten set of etiquette guidelines designed to keep the game fun, friendly, and open to everyone, including new players. The most basic rule is to respect all other players. Some other general guidelines include picking up the football after you drop it or kick it away, rather than having someone else retrieve it. Not serving the football to yourself, not spitting in the circle, and not holding the football. Often called gesturing, or the player might be called a hack hog, and making sure to pass the ball to players who have not gotten it recently. Most circles are very open to new players and will not ostracise anyone for being less coordinated or well practiced than the rest. Some circles have an unwritten rule that there is no apologising when a person drops a football. This guideline is designed to keep the new players from feeling as if it's their fault that the game is now slow, and it keeps the experienced players from constantly having to reassure the new players that it's not their fault. Variations on circle kicking are numerous and spontaneously connected. Freestyle football. Edit. Main article. Freestyle football. Freestyle football is a sport in which the object is to perform tricks with the ball. The ending position on the football on one trick becomes the starting position of the football on the next trick. Tricks are created by combining different components between contacts with the ball. Contacts can either be stalls or kicks, though stalls are more frequent. Components include spins, dexterities, using a leg to circle across the football path in midair, jumps, and ducks, letting the football pass a few inches above the net. Contacts are usually on the inside of the foot behind the opposite support leg, clipper stall, or on the toe. However, many inventive possibilities remain and are used to create an endless list of tricks. A partial list of freestyle football tricks can be found at the official Football Worldwide Information Service. Various styles have developed as the sport has become more popular. Players can choreograph routines to music, alone or in pairs, executing difficult moves in sync with the music. The result is something like a cross between rhythmic gymnastics and figure skating. There is an annual Football World Championships held each year. The current freestyle world champions in singles categories, Milan Bender of Czech Republic. In doubles, Thomas Tuchek and Martin Sladek. Football.net. Edit. Main article. Football.net. In Football.net, new players, either playing individually or with a partner, volley a football back and forth over a 5-foot-high net. This game combines elements of tennis, badminton, and volleyball. The court dimensions and layout are similar to those of badminton. The scoring is similar to the old scoring system in volleyball. A player must be served to serve, and serves must be diagonal, as in tennis. Football net games can be played to 11 or 15 points, though the winners must win by at least 2 points. Rallies in football net look a lot like volleyball. Example, bump, set, and spike, with players spiking from an inverted position in mid-air over the net, and opponents often dealing very fast spikes into bumps or sets. Playing football net is very similar to sepak takraw. However, in football net, it is an upper body foul if the football touches any part of a player's body above the shin. Other. Bass. An old Norwegian football game reminiscent of a bad ball, where a player defends their circle. Usually there are 5 to 6 players where everyone plays against everyone. The aim of the game is for a player to defend their own field while attempting to land the bass inside the field of an opponent. There are World Cup rules, series games and cup games. Boost. A game in which players in a team must juggle the football across a field to the opponent's half and score a goal by kicking the football into a small cylindrical container, usually a bin or pot plant. The sport was invented in Australia in 2007 and is played with 2 annual national competitions. Hack Slap. A game played with 4, 6, 8 or more people, and the object is to keep the football in the air by any means necessary, excluding hands. When someone fails to keep the football in the air, hit it with an upward trajectory, or the football fails to make it to the opponent's square, and they are eliminated. Football Golf. A game in which a player must kick the ball towards a designated target, 18 inches in diameter and 18 inches off the ground, while navigating the course. A course is usually made for up to 9 or 18 holes, and the distance between the tee and target varies from hole to hole. The game can include any number of players. A player begins a hole by teeing off from the 6 foot by 6 foot box by tossing the ball into the air and kicking it with the intention of getting the football as close to the target as possible. Where the football lands and comes to a complete stop is called the lie. After all players have teed off, the furthest player from the target marks the line and tosses the ball for another kick. All kicks must be made behind the line. The player cannot move past the line until the kick is completed. Once all players have successfully kicked their ball into the target, they may move on to the next hole. Horse. A game that can be played with any number of players, and is a great way to improve one's freestyle. One of the players performs any freestyle move they choose, then passes it on to the next player who then attempts the same move. If the player performs the move correctly, then they perform a different move of their choice, then pass it on. If they fail to do the move, they get a letter H. If they miss it on the next one, they get an O, and pass it on to the next player who chooses a new trick. Once the player spells the word horse, they are out. Kickback. A game at which a player can kick the football against the backstop of a handball court, alone or with others. It needs a very firm football to bounce back. A simple score can be kept or not. Killer. A game similar to War, the Hacky sack is kicked around and after a certain number of kicks, a player can kick the sack at another player, trying to peg them. If the Hacky sack hits them, they are out, unless they can hack the sack back into the circle before it hits the ground. Self-serving, tossing the sack to yourself, is often banned in this game, and if done, the round is stopped and the ball breaker is pegged, thrown, with the sack. Knockout. A game that can be played with any number of players, in which players are eliminated by failure to hit the hack. The hack is passed around randomly to any player, and the goal is to keep it going indefinitely. If the hack lands on the ground near another player who could have hit it within 2 feet of him, that player is eliminated for failure. If the hack lands drastically out of range of any player, then the player who kicked it out of bounds is eliminated. Some leagues can apply a more strict rule where when the hack drops, any player who lifts their foot off the ground and attempts to kick it is eliminated. Number catch. A game where any number of players, best played with 3 or 4, have to alternate turns hitting the football as many times as possible, and must catch it for the points to count. If the ball is dropped, the player must subtract those points from their score. This game may be played to a certain score, a certain time to get as many points as possible. Numbers. A game in which players form a circle and the person who starts the kick. Who starts kicks the hack once. Then the second person kicks it twice and so on and so forth. If the hack touches the ground before the player achieves their number, the player gets one chance to start where they left off. If the player does not achieve their number, they pass the football on to the next player. And if they achieve that number, the previous player is out. Shark. A game where 2 or more players can play. The goal is to hit the sack a previously set number of times before a player catches it and says shark. When the person says shark, the other player must stay where they are, and the shark has the ability to throw it at any player. If the player is hit, the player is out or has a point that goes against their score. Last player standing wins. When a player says shark, the other players can move only 1 foot once to reposition themselves. It is common to move up one move to dodge the sack. War. A game for any number of players. The football is served and after a predetermined number, usually 3, of kicks, whether by one person or collectively as a group. Everyone tries to catch it. The person who catches the football throws it at one of the other players who either tries to dodge or catch it. If the football hits someone, they are out. But if they catch it, the person they threw is out. The game can be played with any number of outs, also known by the names pelt, 3 balls of fire, 3 hit kill, 3 hack whack, applesauce, red dot, and god. Variations. Although there is no winning in the original game of hacky sack, several variations have come into play in recent years. These include 3 hack slap and hack elimination. The rules to 3 hack slap are as follows. Play begins in the same fashion as the traditional game, but after 3 players have volleyed the sack consecutively. Any player may slap the sack in an attempt to hit another player. If the slapping player succeeds in hitting another player, the player that was hit is out indefinitely until the next game begins. In some versions of the game, if a player is out, they may still participate in the game, but they may neither slap nor be slapped. The 3 touches taken before the slap must be taken by separate players. For example, if a player gets fed the sack and kicks it up to 3 times, that counts as only 1 touch. However, if a sack is kicked by one player, then another, but returns to the player who kicked the ball originally, that does count as 3. Essentially, every time that the sack changes feet, that counts as a point towards the 3 points necessary to slap. Play continues likewise until 1 player remains. That player is declared the winner, and play restarts. In hack elimination, play also begins like in the original game, and as play goes on, every player tries to get a touch on the sack. If everyone has touched their sack except for 1 person, the player has not yet touched the sack is ruled out. Play continues until only 2 players are left, and those 2 are the winners. Another more aggressive variation of the hack slap called kills exists ideally for bigger groups. In a bigger group you may come across players with varying skill levels, and the lesser skilled are a risk for not being able to complete a full hack. This variation allows free touch in any way possible, be it with 1, 2 or 3 players out of the X number of participants, after which you may kick the sack as hard as you like in the direction of any player to try and get them out. Defense is important as you're allowed to block, which includes trickier plays, fakes, stalls and rebounds. This game has 1 winner. World records. The Guinness Book of Records has recognised football consecutives world records since the 1980s. There are several categories of records, all variants of the consecutives discipline. The current records are listed below. Men's single football. Chris Crepo. Total kicks 77,842. Total time spent doing hacky sack 8 hours, 22 minutes, 18 seconds. I think, I don't know. Date of record July 1997. Official event in my office gym. Ted Martin. Total kicks 69,812. Total time 7 hours, 38 minutes, 22 seconds. Date of record November 15, 1995. Official event Classic Football 1995 in Chicago in Illinois in the United States of America. Men doubles football consecutive Ross Stevenson and Oliver Johnson. Total kicks 96,564. Total time 10 hours, 43 minutes and 22 seconds. Date of record 9th of December 2011. Official event York Foot Basher Festival in York, London, England. Women's doubles football consecutive. Constance Constable / Trickier George. Total kicks 34,543. Total time 5 hours, 38 minutes and 22 seconds. Date of record 18th of February 1995. Official event Heart of Football Freestyle Tournament, Portland, Oregon, USA. Open doubles football consecutive. Trisha George and Gary Lau. Total kicks 132,011. Previously 123,456. Total time 20 hours and 34 minutes. Date of record March 21st and 22nd, 1998. Official event Chico, California, USA. Open doubles timed 10-minute one pass. Trisha George and Paul Vorvik. 1,415 kicks in 10 minutes. Date of record August 5th, 2006. Official event Fun in the Park, Wilsonville in Oregon. Women's single consecutive. Constance Constable. Total kicks 24,713. Total time 4 hours 9 minutes 27 seconds. Date of record April 18, 1998. Official event California Athletic Club in Monterey, California, USA. Open singles consecutive Ted Martin. Total kicks 63,326. Total time 8 hours 50 minutes 42 seconds. Date of record June 14th, 1997. Official event 1997 Midwest Regionals in Chicago, Illinois, USA. Open 5-minute time consecutive. Andy Linder. Total kicks in 5 minutes. 1019. Date of record June 7th, 1996. Official event Midwest Regional Football Championships at Mount Prospect, Illinois, USA. Women's 5-minute time consecutive. Ida Fogel. Total kicks in 5 minutes, 804. Date of record August 11, 1997. Official event 1997 World Football Championships, Portland, Oregon, USA. Largest football circle Andy Linder and 945 of his friends. Total players 946. Date of record July 6, 2001. Official event Cornerstone Festival, Bushnell, Illinois, USA. Men's doubles football synchronized Kerno Rad and Glenn Chodson. Total kicks 4,276. Date of record January 2012. Official event Canadian Be Happy Happy Sack Fiesta in Montreal, Canada. There is also an unofficial records list for consecutive individual freestyle moves. Thank you.